Hi, my name's Ishmael and today we're going to be talking about my refurb. Now, I went through a video last week which showed you the beginning of the refurb, how I got the property, and today I'm going to be showing you the end of the refurb and what I did to the property, why I did it to the property, how I did it to the property, and maybe a few little pointers on the way. So stay tuned and you're going to find out what a refurb looks like to a high standard at the very end once you've done it. So, as you can see, the front of the property has been re-rendered. Now, I re-rendered the property because there was the beam, and when it was pressure washed, it pulled all of the mortar joints out. As we walk in, you can see it's nice, it's airy, it's open plan. I've taken out that fourth bedroom so that the living room is actually a decent usable size. As you can see, nice lighting, LEDs, modern, waterproof flooring. Make sure that if you get the tenants in, they don't damage the floor straight away. High quality carpets, none of this cheap rental rubbish. I've kept the fire doors but I've refurbed them. So with the carpets, as you can see, 12mm pile. So it's luxurious with underlay. I know a lot of people say do not go for luxury carpets, but I think it's well worth it. So as you can see, the property has just been done basic throughout. It's basically a whitewash, but that's what tenants want because you can't cater to everyone. All the leaks have been fixed, and as you can see, there's no damp issues. Nice clean property. So the leaks on the roof were fixed. Now, we thought it was just a slip tile, but I needed pointing around the ridge and pointing on the gable end where the property met, because there was a step between the side bit and the main house. So as we go through, you can see all fire doors, new handles, new hinges, basically just done to a basic standard. Nothing high end really, just decent carpets, basic whitewash, nice fixtures and fittings. Although I haven't done the lights because people generally don't care about the lights in bedrooms and in hallways, so those ones haven't been touched. As you can see, bathroom is where you need to spend a lot of money. Nice towel rail, nice radiator, modern, sleek finish, fixing there nicely. Big double-ended bath, marble effect tiles. So these, I've gone for this high finish bathroom because the bathroom is one of the places you can add the most value. This bathroom didn't cost me a huge amount, but it is going to add a lot of value to the property, as well as people are going to want it. It's going to add saleability if you flip, or it's going to add rental income if you keep it. So again, the living room, nice lighting. I decided to keep this toilet in here because I thought, why take it out? But I did decide that the spec of the toilet was a bit low, and I decided we had to change that suite. Even though there was nothing wrong with it and it wasn't too bad, once I had started putting the stuff in, I realised I needed to actually change that suite to bring it up to the standard of the property. You can't go and do one standard for part of the property and a different standard for another part, because you will downvalue the property. So as we go through, I've put carpet on the stairs here. Even though it's between two hard floors, I thought I better do that. As you can see, nice modern kitchen, handleless. I've gone for a high-end kitchen, sleek finish, tiled it just in the important areas. Downlighting again adds a lot of value to the property. This kitchen may look very, very expensive, but it didn't cost a huge amount extra. It cost about £1,000 more than a standard kitchen would have. So I added £1,000 on the kitchen, but it added a lot of value. Garden, as you can see, I returfed it, I partially levelled it. The builder didn't do a proper job, he didn't put enough soil underneath, so some of the weeds have come through. But I've put a new fencing in, and I've washed the back, and I painted the whole house throughout. So this is basically what has been done. Just finishing touches, making sure you put extra little bits in here, there and everywhere. As you can see, I also have tidied up all the damp around all the windows. So with the damp around the windows, and the back of the house was actually coming from between the original house wall and the place they put the cavity. So when they put the cavity in, it came out over the top of the guttering. So this is the problem if you have your guttering, you don't have overhang on your guttering, then when you put the external cladding on or anything on the outside, you pull that away from the actual house and there's a nice gap to get in. Now when they put that in, all they used gutter sealing to seal the gap around the back and some expanding foam behind that. However, gutter sealing doesn't last that long. And because this was south facing on the back, the gutter sealant got UV damage and it started cracking. And then it exposed the expanding foam, which then just allowed water to run straight through. So these are little things that someone might have gone there and thought, like I did, maybe it's just around window seals. However, when I investigated further, it was coming all the way from upstairs. Now after that was sealed, I could have thought it's still leaking because it took 4 months to dry. It took 4 months for the property inside to dry, even with heating on and windows open and in hot days. It took 4 months after I'd sealed the guttering. Now someone might have said there's another leak somewhere. Or other people were saying, well, it might be the radiator system. No, it wasn't any of that. If you know what you're doing and you have a good builder, they should have been able to identify this. Unfortunately, my builder didn't identify this and I had problems with them and I ended up identifying this problem and I ended up fixing this problem myself. Now, I have only done a short-term temporary fix because at the time I didn't have the materials to do it and I was hiring equipment. However, I know the short-term temporary fix is going to last at least 5 years. So if I do get any more damp issues, I know where it's going to come from and it's very easy to do it properly, put some proper flashing over the top, and that will last almost indefinitely, at least 20-25 years once that's done. Which it just will take a ladder to get up there and put it over the top. So these are little things that may look like they are either huge problems or they may look like small problems, and they can be somewhere in between. So identifying the issues with your build is something very important. Now I spoke about this property being a high standard. As you saw, high quality carpets, high quality flooring. That was click laminate flooring, which is plastic, which is 100% waterproof and water resistant. And therefore, if the tenants get it wet, it doesn't matter. Unlike the cheap stuff or the stuff that says water resistant, it's not that rubbish. Because that rubbish stuff which says water resistant, when you get a puddle of water on it and you don't mop it up, it will swell and it will go up in the joints and you will ruin it. And because of that, I went for the higher end stuff. Now this means that if I flip it, it's going to be worth a lot more than anything else because most people don't go for this high end stuff. And if I keep it, which is what I have decided to do, it will push the rental value up. Now a lot of people told me I am not going to achieve more than the market cap for this property. However, I have achieved quite a lot more. The rent for this property was, I was told, or rather with research for comparables, I was looking at around $600 to $650 per calendar month for this property when it was going to be finished. But because I went the extra little spend on it and I added the extra high spec kitchen, I added the higher spec bathroom, I put the higher spec flooring in, which I got on offer so it didn't cost much difference. That meant that rather than getting the amount that they advertised, I actually got almost 20% more. I say almost because I didn't go for the top end. I was told by one agent that I could get 800 when I thought it was worth 600 to 650 based on comparables. Now if I would have done what most people do and I would have put this property on the market with a basic nice kitchen, modern, new handles, and done to an okay standard, cheap standard rental carpets, rental flooring, these sort of standard rental things because people don't want to spend the extra because it's going to cost them, then I probably would have got the 650. However, because I went above and beyond, I spent a little bit more on the kitchen, a little bit more on the carpets, a little bit more on the bathroom. It pushed up the end value slightly, not by much because I'd already hit the street cap. However, it did push up the rental income by almost 20%, which meant that my ROI went up drastically. That extra £2,000 on the internal spend of the property has allowed me to get £1,200 a year. Now, even if I say I got £1,000 extra a year on rental income, that £1,000 extra a year, I spent £2,000 to get that. Now, think about it. If you're going to spend £2,000 to get an extra £1,000 a year rental income, that's a 50% return of investment per year. Now, I personally think that it's worth the extra spend to get that extra money. Most people don't do it because they have a budget, and I completely understand, but from my point of view, a 50% ROI is worth spending the extra budget. So that's my point of view, and I'm going to stick to doing the high-spec properties. Why? Because I know that there's tenants waiting for these high-spec properties. There's good quality, long-lasting tenants. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, whack that bell notification icon to get notified of videos coming out each and every week.